Shoot your arrows! Cooper Kupp plucks it out of the air and gives the Rams the lead. Robert Woods, touchdown! LA! Goff goes crashing into the end zone. Aaron Donald almost beat the football there. Corey Littleton, have yourself a day. Picked off. Marcus Peters coming off the edge. And Ryan will be wrapped up by Clay Matthews. Everett in stride! Wow!
Franklin Myers gets his hand down there.
Leno got a hand on it. Did he pick it? He did!
Racing down the sideline is Akeem Talib. Gurley for MVP! Touchdown LA!
Picked off by John Johnson.
Well, Dante Fowler, who is able to get to Breeze. Greg Zuerlein sends the Rams to the Super Bowl! LA will play for the Lombardi!
Welcome back, guys, to another Downtown Rams podcast. It's episode 206. I'm your host, Jake Ellenbogen. Joining me is Alexis Kraft, as always. This is another draft season podcast. We have two offensive linemen coming on. We have Bunchy Stallings from Kentucky, and we have Ferris State offensive lineman who was just at the Combine, Devon Johnson. Hope you guys enjoy. And, of course, before we get into that, just a reminder, be sure to subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts, and enjoy the show. All right, guys, joining the show, we have Kentucky offensive lineman Bunchy Stallings. How's it going, man? Thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, yeah, I'm good. It's great. It's going great right now.
Awesome. And just to start this, we just kind of want to hear a little bit about how you got into the game of football.
I basically got into the game of football from birth. Honestly, it started with my dad. My dad has basically taught us the ways of becoming a man and basically becoming a man while playing football. So, I started out at an early age. All my brothers, I'm the youngest of two brothers. But all my brothers play football, and, I just basically wanted to grow up and basically be like my older brothers. And that's how the love came about, and just learning and being with them every day while as a little kid, watching them wanted to be able to do everything that they were doing. So it was like I just fell in love with the game right then and there. It's like I knew it was something that I wanted to do, and I knew it was something that I wanted to be great at. So.
That's awesome, man. And growing up, did you have a favorite NFL player that you looked up to?
Actually, my favorite NFL player is Walter Payton. That may be funny because I'm a no lineman, but Walter Payton is actually from Columbus, Mississippi, which is like maybe 30 to 45 minutes down the road. And I grew up wanting to be a running back, actually. So just having him with that Mississippi connection and him being a running back, he instantly became my favorite player. And just to hear about all the accolades that he had done in the NFL, things like that, you can never beat because he'll always be considered an NFL legend. So.
Yeah, of course. He was definitely an amazing player to watch and to look up to for sure. And, when it came time for you to play in college, you ended up playing for Kentucky. What was the main factor for you in choosing them?
The main factor was really just relationships. I felt like with the coaching staff here, I felt like that I could really build a genuine relationship. And that's where it all started with. Just my coach would just call me every day. Coach John Swarman would call me every day and ask me how my day was. It wasn't always about football and this and that. It wasn't always about, hey, we got this up here. You can come up here. You can get this done. It's about, hey, man, how's your life? How's everything going? How are you doing? How do you feel? Just little things like that. And I'm a guy that's really built off of relationships. And it's like, if I feel like I can build a relationship with somebody, then I'm gonna give that person my all. I'm gonna be key and locked into what they're trying to teach me. So
I like that you said that because former Kentucky basketball player Julius Randle said pretty much the same exact thing, as to why he chose Kentucky. And told him, like, when he had that ankle injury or foot injury or whatever, like, Calipari cared more about him as a person and less about what, he was going to bring to the table or anything like that. So it's kind of cool because, as we've asked people this question, we're starting to notice a pattern here where it's like, maybe a lot of these recruiters have it all wrong, and really you got to get to know the person more than just the player, I would say.
For sure.
But with that being said, yeah, exactly. But, playing at Kentucky, I mean, you guys have so much talent. You guys are ranked like all year long. Obviously Josh Allen is going to go fairly high. We talked to George on the show. We talked to Derek on the show. What was your most memorable moment from your college career?
Most memorable moment? It's probably beating Florida, honestly. Just being able to do that after 31 years. I mean, it was an unbelievable experience just because I knew at that moment was bigger than myself and this team as a group. It was for Big Blue Nation and also those players that never got the chance to beat Florida because my offensive line coach John Schlarman actually got a game ball that night, and to see the expression on his face, to see him coming to Kentucky as a player, coach, GA, doing it all here at Kentucky and still never beating Florida, just to see the joy to come to his heart and to see the joy to come to everyone else's heart that comes up to me and just basically thank me for beating Florida and taking that curse off of Kentucky's name. I mean, just things like that you can't beat because that moment was I'm still in awe to this day. It's because it's really unbelievable. We finally just went over that hill that that nobody thought we could get over, and I mean that accomplishment alone was unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine that feeling, and I know that you'll remember it forever for sure. And we talked about earlier a little bit about very talented players that you played with on your team at Kentucky, but you also went against a lot of very talented players. If you could pick one guy or maybe a couple guys as being the toughest players that you went up against in college, who would that be?
Some of the toughest I went up in college. One guy I knew it was probably two guys that I faced that I was like just from year one to year two. I mean, this guy was you could just tell the difference, and I really enjoyed playing against him this year, and that's Kinlaw from South Carolina. I mean, I'm a type of guy. I mean, if it's competition in front of me, I'm gonna own up to it. I'm gonna hold my own, but going out, but some battles, you actually look back and you enjoy okay, I had somebody give me some type of work, and it was fun playing against them too. I mean, we made sure it was clean. It was we play a hard ball. You can't ask for better competition than that and things like that. And I was a guy. I don't know I don't want to butcher his name, but number 65, he played for the Cleveland Browns now, defensive lineman, coming out of Charlotte 49ers, and just playing against guys like that from a smaller school that got so much that can get so much recognition. And just those two guys are probably the two guys that I really enjoy playing with the most.
Yeah, you're talking about Javon Kinlaw and Larry Ogunjobi?
Yeah, Ogunjobi, yeah.
Yeah, those are definitely some good picks. I like that. I like that you mentioned those guys. I want to get your thoughts because you were at the East-West Shrine game, and I want to, get your overall takeaways from just the overall experience itself, but and also, kind of what you felt you did, what you did and maybe what you didn't do, in front of the coaches and the scouts and fans alike.
The East-West Shrine game was actually an unbelievable experience as well. Just being able to be in that environment around NFL teams and NFL scouts and things like that, and NFL coaches. I mean, that alone, only helped me out. It helped me out so much in so many ways, just to understand what our NFL coaches what are they expecting when I get to camp, like. How are they expecting me to have my technique? How am I supposed to block this technique? Because at Kentucky, we run a lot of inside zone and going to the NFL. A lot of NFL teams like to run outside zone, and I knew that was something that I was gonna have to work on. And with me going to the East-West Shrine game, like, it really opened my eyes up to, like, okay, yeah, you can really do this. Like, it's just really running off the ball and, getting your block done. But at the same time, it's about being physical and about having good technique as well, and not just leaving the guy on side of you in the drive. And just going to that game, just learning the minor details that you may not be able to learn in camp, because that's something you should be worrying about now and not when you get to camp. But just going through it early, it gave me an advantage, to be honest. And it's helped me out a lot just to know what to expect from NFL coaches when I get there.
Yeah, of course. It's been a lot of fun to hear guys talk about their experience at the East-West Shrine game, because it seemed like people really enjoyed it and learned a lot and had a lot of fun as well. But you also competed at your pro day. What was that like?
Oh, pro day was fun. It was fun to see, like, being a part of just one of Kentucky's biggest pro days in school history. That alone and knowing that your hard work has paid off. You can't ask for a better time, and doing it with the people you love to be around, and going out there and working hard as you can for your brothers. With your brothers, I really enjoyed it. I was satisfied with the results I got. It's some stuff you wish you could do over again, but at the end of the day, just gotta live with with my results. I know what I could do when it comes to football, and I know those drills, aren't always meant for O linemen to do. So I know. I had to understand that, but as a pro day, I thought it was an overall good day. So.
Yeah, I love the way, like the pro day kind of caps off, the whole process, really. Obviously there are meetings here and there, visits and workouts that you do, but it's just kind of like one last send off for, whether or not you enter the draft early or, just for the seniors of that school. So, like you said, one of the biggest pro days in school history, I just always found it really cool. And I'm glad you were able to, put up the numbers that you wanted to. Obviously, that was a big opportunity for you. But I want to, touch a little bit on your game. Obviously, you're a man of many strengths, but what would you say is your biggest?
My athleticism, being able to move out in space, and just really just my athleticism. I can bend in weird ways that a lot of people may not be able to, and I can get the job done. Just things like that. My tenacity, just like I want to finish my job and to get my job done. So, I feel like having that attitude and having the attitude of not being satisfied, I feel like I can go a long ways, because at this point I'm not satisfied with where I'm at, and I know there's just so much I can showcase, and that's what I'm really excited for, because a lot of people don't know this, but like I can't wait to be able to showcase my talents.
Yeah, of course. And, as the draft approaches, is there anything that you're looking to improve on?
Just my overall game, just becoming consistent, just becoming a consistent player, making sure I have all the outside zone techniques, and making sure, like, even in my pass pro, just making sure I'm taking the proper kicks, and making sure I'm paying attention to pre-snap alignments and just little things like that. Basically just trying to do the little things to help me take my game to the next level and just pay attention to the minor details more than the major details, just because like the minor are just important, because those are the things we often forget about, and those are things that can often get us in trouble. So especially as an O-lineman, so just doing things like that, even if it's just maybe walking through my steps. It does not always have to be a full rep, but I'm just building muscle memory and just doing things like that. I mean, I feel like it's not going to do anything but help. So that's really what I'm doing right now, just working on all phases of the game.
Yeah, and I think that's, very important for sure. I kind of want to ask you, because we ask, a lot of people this, and, there might not be an answer, but if there is there any player that you've modeled your game after?
Oh, I love Travis Kelce from the Eagles, because he's a center that.
Okay.
No, is his name Travis Kelce? Oh,
no, it's Jason Kelce. But I was just like, wow. Yeah. I was like, wow, a tight end. That's insane. You're very athletic.
I was gonna say, don't get me wrong. Don't let the hands fool you.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Jason is a guy that I love. So.
Yeah, definitely a very, very talented player. That's for sure. And this next question is just kind of a fun question that we like to ask offensive linemen who come on the show, just because we're curious to know your answer. But who would you most want to stonewall in the NFL?
Anybody that lines up in front of me.
Good answer.
Put it like that.
No, that's definitely a good answer. Now, I want to ask you, obviously being a Rams-based podcast, we ask everyone this question. Have you met or spoken with the Los Angeles Rams yet?
I met the Rams at East Shrine game, and that was about it.
Yeah, well, we certainly like to hear that you talked to them there, because we, we're fans of you and love watching your game, and have really enjoyed talking to you. So we'd love for you to end up a Los Angeles Ram. But if you don't, we're going to be fans of you regardless, and follow your NFL career, because we surely believe you're going to have a successful career and do big things at the next level. And we can't wait to watch you. It's coming up. We got about a week and a half now until the draft. So I know that it's probably, a little bit nerve-wracking, and, I'm sure you're excited and anxious at the same time. So, we're wishing you the best of luck. And just to wrap it up, in your own words, who is Bunchy Stallings, the player, and who is he as a person?
Bunchy Stallings as a player is a guy that, that's there for his teammates, is there to willing and able to do whatever he needs to make his team better, and also make the people around him better people. And Bunchy Stallings as a person is just a guy who wants to see everybody be successful. I'm a very caring guy. I care about a lot of people, and just like I said, just building those relationships are very important to me, and that's how I am. If I like to be able to talk to people and, tell them if something's wrong, like, be able to get on to them, not necessarily get on to them, but if they're in the wrong, like, be able to tell them they're in the wrong. But also I want them to feel like they could do the same with me. So just that type of person, just a genuine person, just to want to see everybody succeed and want to see the good in everybody.
100%. Totally agree with that, Bunchy. I think that's really a great, mantra to live by, honestly. It's been a pleasure having you on. We definitely enjoyed having you on, and really appreciate you taking the time, because we know you're obviously busy, and the draft's not far away. So I wouldn't say it's spur of the moment to come on, but you're coming on. We're kind of close, so really appreciate it. And man, stay healthy. Good luck, and let's stay in touch.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I appreciate
Yeah,
you guys for having me.
of course. Thank you so much, Bunchy.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
All right, guys, joining us on the podcast, Ferris State offensive lineman Devon Johnson. How's it going, man? Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you. I'm doing very good right now.
Awesome. It's good to hear. And just to start this off, we just want to hear a little bit about how you got into the game of football.
I got into football in like the 4th grade. It kind of started with my grandfather pushing me to play. So I wasn't really into football in the beginning. So like by like 4th grade, I played Pee Wee and Londale Falcons in West Side Chicago. And from there, I just kind of fell in love with it the more and more I played.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And you know, growing up, who was your favorite NFL player?
Growing up, probably Ryan Urlacher.
Oh, yeah, good pick. Definitely fun to watch for sure. And, you know, when it came time for you to play in college, you ended up choosing Ferris State. What was the main factor for you in choosing them?
I just felt really comfortable going there. Like, when I went on my visit, a lot of the players were very welcoming. The coaches, like, very honest and, like my process and how, like, you know, they gave me, like, the whole, like, script kind of to go off of and how, like, from, like, my redshirt year to my senior year, like, how everything was going to play out. And I trusted it, so I was like, I'm going here.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And, you know, I just want to ask you, you know, as you know, coming from college, is there a moment in time that really, you know, stands out to you as like the biggest? I mean, I'm sure you went through a lot and had a lot of fun, but is there anything, maybe a game or a play or something that just stands out as the biggest moment?
Probably the last drive in the national championship game. You know, it was coming down to the wire. We had 5 minutes left in the game, and I just kind of like, in my head, I knew I had to take over to make sure my O-line was good, and we had to just run it down the field from the 5 all the way down to the touchdown. When we got the touchdown, it was a screen. I ran out. I blocked the cornerback, and then I threw him out of bounds. Then we ran up the sideline, scored, but we lost by 2 because we missed a 2-point conversion.
That's awesome. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a memory you'll remember forever for sure.
Yeah.
And you went up against a lot of tough competition during your college career, but is there one guy who stands out to you as being the toughest guy you went up against?
Probably this guy named James, number 2 from Ashland University. He always gave me a problem every time I played him, but I like going against him because I feel like every year I, kind of sharpen my tools and how I will go against him to make myself better.
Yeah, of course, man. 100%. I want to ask you, you were at the NFL Combine, and it was a big deal because, I mean, you were the second player in Ferris State history to attend the Combine. Going back to, I believe it was 1991 was the last time someone from that school went to the Combine. So, congrats on that. That's awesome. But I just want to get your thoughts. Oh, of course. I just want to get your thoughts on the whole experience in itself, coming from Ferris State, and then all of a sudden you're around everybody. What was it like being around all those, all of your peers, and then of course, what was it like, competing at the region, the scouting combine?
It was unreal. It was like I was playing a video game. Almost, I was playing 2K and playing my player. Going through the whole process, and it's like, wow, like I really made it here. This is like more than just a dream. This is like, it's reality now. Like, I got to come out here and perform. So, like, the whole process was really fun. That whole week, I kind of, like, wish I could do it again because I thought it was so fun. Like, going to sleep at 12, waking up at 4, and going from meeting rooms to having to go compete to, like, going over there and going back to the XO suite to make sure I was ready for the competition days. Like, all of that was, like, such a great experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can only imagine what it was like to be there, and I'm sure you'll remember it forever. And, you also had a chance to compete at your pro day. What was that like?
The pro day was great, honestly, because, like, coming from the combine where the pressure was, it was kind of more relaxed. And I was kind of around some of my peers from Ferris that were there, Malik Taylor and Keandre Craig, and it just made it more relaxed, just knowing I had, like, people I knew and I felt comfortable around, making it a more comfortable, like, experience, atmosphere and all.
Yeah, of course. And, I just want to get your thoughts, as a player, with many strengths, what's your biggest one when, anybody's talking about your game?
I'll probably say, I'm like the biggest finisher. I'm very aggressive, very quiet on the field. I get the job done. I make sure every play counts. I don't take plays off. I definitely make sure I put everything on the field and just leave it there.
Yeah, and as the draft approaches, what's something that you're looking to improve on?
Right now, it's probably just fixing, keeping my hands more consistent on pass pro and run blocking so I don't get caught, in the league. I'm pretty sure they're more strict on, holding penalties and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. And, I just want to ask you kind of a fun question here. We always ask offensive linemen that come on here. Who do you most want to stonewall at the next level?
Man, I ain't trying to put a target on my back, really, but I definitely would like to go against Khalil Mack. That's been my idol since college. When he got drafted, he's one of the best defensive ends in the league. Probably him or J.J. Watt, that'd be pretty cool to block and throw down.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think that'd be a fun challenge for sure. And we are a Los Angeles Rams podcast, so we ask every prospect that comes on our show. Have you talked or met with the Los Angeles Rams yet?
I talked to them when I went to the NFLPA Bowl.
Awesome. Yeah.
Nice. And how was that? How was that, meeting like? What was that meeting like? And what was the NFLPA Bowl like?
The PA Bowl itself was really fun. Just having another chance to compete in front of others, and then the meeting with the Rams was it was I was very nervous for the whole process, but I think it really was.
That's awesome. Yeah, we certainly like to hear that you talk to them, and we'd love to see you end up a Los Angeles Ram. But, if not, we're still going to be fans of you no matter where you go and follow your career for sure. But, just to wrap it up in your own words, who is Devon Johnson as a player and who is he as a person?
Devon Johnson's a businessman on the field, and then as a person, I'm just a very quiet person that kind of keeps to myself and, stay out of trouble.
Sounds like a great player to bring into any organization to me. Hey, Devon, really appreciate you coming on, man. It's been fun, getting to know you a little bit, and, keep doing what you're doing because you're doing some big things for your school, Ferris State. There's only been one player in the history of Ferris State that's been drafted. It wasn't the one that was at the Combine. It was recently Zach Seiler. So, really interested, and obviously, we'll be rooting for you. Just keep doing what you're doing, stay healthy, and let's keep in touch, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good one, Devon.
All right, you too.